first EP collab, man. Oakland Vallejo, the Bay Area, stand up. I'm from that town. She from Vallejo. Said let's collab. She said okay. We all should play. Hot potato. Whoever got the hottest vibe. Challenges with it. It's me, I'm the best. Like creative players on hunters, no less. The lines in your forehead just told me you stressing. Got G-O-D on me side. Ooh, he blessed me. All the lies they tell it's a vaccine. They're acting it's so bad like it's wrestling. Keep my circle so small it's insane. If you made the cut then you're part of my team. Just like blowing that pint called strikes don't gutter. Attracted to the mind but I like my hooder. She gotta have a pretty face too.
Hello. Hi, YouTube. Hello to the YouTube streets. We are here with a surprise last minute, but very special guest, my very, very, very good friend, James Jackson, also published author, also co-host of most of the reviews and recaps that we do. Say hi to James, y'all.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Excuse my noise, my background noise if you hear it.
You fine. I can actually mute it. I should have done that at the beginning of the video. That's actually
I did it and I still can hear it through my headphones.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got people over, so they want to do it.
It's Saturday. It's 4:20. It's literally the middle of the day. So wait, you're streaming to your YouTube? I love it. I just noticed that James should be live and streaming as well at the same time. I did not know we could do that. Shout out to StreamYard for that, because that's something new. That is something very new that I knew nothing about. You have to show me how to do that because I need to know for me and Also Best. Anywho, we are here to go over OWN's new show, The Never Ever Mets. This is a brand new, I guess we'll call it a dating reality show, but it's not competition reality. No one's competing for a man. This is different, and that's what made me want to recap it because I don't normally like OWN shows, but this is different. So the concept of this show is you have a bunch of couples that all they know each other prior, the couples, but their relationships have been long distance and virtual, meaning they have not met in person. They have done nothing outside of FaceTime. So this is different. The show shows these people meeting for the very first time. And not only are they going to meet for the first time, they're going to be sharing a living space for the very first time. So I'm just like, before we go any further, what do you think about the concept of the show as a whole? Since you hear Naya, new show.
Hey, Naya. Thank you for coming, love. So I'm going to tell you like this. As somebody who is, when I came out at 27, I started online dating. So this resonated real well with me. I could not imagine me in this kind of concept. I feel like I love all of the aspects of it, but the one thing I did not like is that they all had shared living quarters. I feel like they should be required to see and do activities together, but they should have their own living spaces, similar to what is it, Married at First Sight?
Yeah, that's actually a really good example. I love that show, by the way.
So yes, I think that they should have separate living quarters, like being a separate like cottage or something, to see how well they cohabitate with each other, and then do the group activities together. I think that that's what they should do. Having them all in the same house, they knew the drama was going to kick up, so which is what it did. But overall, I think this is a great show. I love how they had also regular people. I love how these people were not like entrepreneurs, like rich people, like millionaires. I love how they kept it at like middle class area because you get to see people's flaws and how they act.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything that you have said. Naya Green says, I like this. Where can I find it? You can find the show on OWN, Oprah Winfrey Network. And I think it has potential just because Carlos ain't touched it. But we are going to definitely be doing this. I will be recapping this every Saturday. That's just a good day for me. It's also the day after the show, so it's fresh in everyone's minds. I'm hoping that James can join us.
I will absolutely 100% be here.
He said,
y'all can count on this. All of this foolishness, I will 100% be here every Saturday.
Side note, I really do need you to show me how you figured out that streaming thing, because I'm supposed to be doing that with my husband for some content that we have coming.
Is it coming on my page?
Yeah, that's where Naya's commenting from.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I just clicked the stream to your audience, and I filled out.
Oh, that.
I filled out the form that I'm on your channel. I said on Mrs. Best channel, and
Yes.
I didn't
That
know. I
makes
didn't know
it
Naya was.
so good for basically content creators to collaborate together. Because imagine if we ever do a panel with Shayna, we can all be streaming at the same time. It's a great way to get
Oh,
viewers.
we're doing something. But I think we're going to do Love and Marriage Huntsville, kind of preemptive show. So we'll probably watch the trailer or something. It'll be pre-recorded, of course, because I have to edit
Yeah.
the actual preview. But I definitely want to do something like that with Shayna. So we be on the lookout for that. I think
Beautiful.
everybody's
And
channel.
also be on the lookout. I am planning a panel or to start a panel series, but I'm trying to organize it, you guys, from beginning to end. I want to come up with a bunch of different topics, and then we'll do a bunch of different episodes. And yes, they will include our favorite James Jackson. But getting into the show, I just love his name. Tell your mama I love the way she named
She
him.
didn't name me, so
You have told me this before. Well, where you know what? I love
had
your name.
she listen, had she named me what she wanted to name me, I would have been even more bullied in high school than I
Bully.
was. I would have been bullied. I think today it would have been fine. The name she would have gave me, I think today it would have been fine. But back in the early 2000s, all that toxicity and misogyny
Oh
that we
yeah,
had,
that was a different
there's
time.
no way. There was no way that name was going to fly. Absolutely not. Here, I think in today's time, people would have thought it would have been authentic or empowering if she gave me that.
Empowering. I cannot. I
Yes.
cannot. I cannot. You know what? We need to discuss that. That might be a panel discussion that I have, because I have somebody who has a philosophy degree who's a good friend of mine, and we like to do little psychophilosophy of things because the two studies they coincide to some extent. So that could be something good to discuss, the difference between growing up in certain generations. Man, because we dealt with some shit. They were cruel. They were cruel.
Right.
Anywho, back into the show, you guys. So basically, most of these couples are from Florida, from what I got. We're going to show you the couples, though, because it's just easier to do it that way. So on your screen, we are directly on the OWN website, just so that we can give credit to where I am sharing my screen from. This is the network that the show comes on. We are going to start from the top left, which should be Shay and Josh. I hope that's top left for y'all. I'm hoping.
Okay. It is.
Anywho, Shay and Josh, they are the first couple that basically comes into the house, or the first person. All the women came in first. Now, Shay, I love that it has it here because I don't have to look at my notes. Shay is 30 years old. Most of these people are going to be basically millennials, but she is 30. She's from Florida, somewhere called Cooper City. I don't know where that is.
Me either.
And James doesn't either, and he's lived there, so that tells
I
you.
lived in Florida. I lived in Sandia. I know she's from Miami, and she definitely looks the part. So absolutely, but
Okay.
no, I don't know where Cooper City is. I've heard of it, but I don't know exactly where it is.
Okay. Well, I don't know. This couple, though, we're gonna get into our thoughts of the couples eventually. I'm gonna go through just what I thought based on what I heard them at first. These people met on Facebook and have been dating for 12 years. Look at the timelines for everybody else. 9 months, 6 months, 5 years, 10 months, 3 months. Something is not right. There is something in the water. There's something in the milk. There's something in the almond milk.
Somebody's lying.
Yes.
Somebody's lying here. So when I first saw her, and when she said 12 years, I remember I said, "There's no fucking way." Y'all have met before, because we ain't gonna get to their date yet. We're not gonna get to their date yet. But what I'm gonna say is their date made me think that they've met before. Absolutely, 100% have met before, and I don't believe it was a full-fledged 12 years that they've dated where they have not dated anybody else, considering one of his packages. So miss me with the 12 years. And as a person who has dated online, that is an absolute no-no. There's two other couples that are absolute no-no here, but they are my first absolute no-no.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Absolutely not.
agree. I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna have to agree. Yeah, I'm gonna just have to agree. So I'm gonna introduce them, and then what we're gonna do, we'll do it like for those who watch the channel when I do Love During Lockup or 90 Day. I'll discuss what happened with each couple throughout the whole episode instead of ping ponging back and forth. But I had to get that out the way. I had to ask James because 12 years and you have not met and you're expecting each other to be fake. Nah. And then we're going to get into it later, but 12 years and he has a 13-year-old. Y'all do the math. That's all I'm saying. So,
No, not only a 13-year-old, he has a 3-year-old as well.
oh, ooh.
Yeah. So that's why I said something ain't right here. Something is not right here.
Something is off.
Yes.
Something's very off. And we gonna get to the bottom of it. And I
Mhm.
think the first dates gave us what we go probably have.
Absolutely. And I can't wait to get there.
Moving on to the next couple, we got introduced to Joanna, who also goes by Jody. She's from Chicago and she is 31. And then we have Aaron J, who is 27 and from Atlanta. That is this middle couple to the right of Shay and Josh. Listen, let me.
I didn't realize he was from Atlanta. Okay, it all makes sense.
Listen, let's make it a little bit bigger for y'all. I'm just introducing these couples, but
I have no problem with them so far.
Child.
So I mean, so far I could tell, like from my
the beginning,
advantage,
I didn't feel no way. It's when we got through the date that I was like,
yes. At first glance, they were fine to me. I didn't have any problem. It's just the chemistry afterwards. We'll talk about that soon, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh my word! All right. So we got Chicago, we got Atlanta. The noticeable difference, I will say, the only red flag I saw with this couple is the male's age. He's only 27. 27 for women, females, whatever the hell. And I was a pretty responsible adult. Me and James both have been paying bills and having our own apartments really since 18.
Right.
So we were pretty responsible. But 27, I really didn't know nothing, y'all. If I'm being entirely honest, didn't even know what I wanted, even though I was married. I just feel like people don't fully know themselves or get comfortable with who they are, find that smoothness with interactions, honesty, things like that, accepting who you are. I don't know. His age concerned me, and I'm really, really bothered by his eyebrows and the choice that he has to have that. What is that called? A goatee. Hi, Shayna. Shayna's also a creator that recaps this show, you guys. I
was on mute
today. Oh, you
Hi,
were on
Shayna. I just I had to pause your review and get onto this one, Shayna, but I'm gonna finish watching it. I'm glad you're recapping this show as well.
This show is a hot mess. It's a hot mess. It's a hot ass mess. It really is. But that's how I felt about Joanna and Aaron in the beginning. The next couples we got is, let me see the order. We then got introduced to Sienna, who is 43, and Brandon, who is 35. She's from New York. He is from.
So they may not see their names, but they're the couple. They're the couple right here with the lady with the dreads and the purple, and the dude with the striped black and white and blue, right there.
They do look like they belong together, though. With that,
honestly, out of all of them, they're the one I'm rooting for.
I didn't get bad vibes from them when they met. The other thing is, I felt like their energy is like
we're missing a couple.
I'm not done.
No. On the screen, we're missing
on the screen.
We're missing a couple. We're missing it. It was another light-skinned lady, and they lived in the same city.
I'm gonna go through my notes in the order they were introduced on the screen. If the couple's not on the screen, y'all, I'm sorry. We'll find them and we'll.
Oh, okay. Well, they were last anyway, so yeah.
In the order that I saw them. So, moving on, we have Sienna and we have Brandon. I think they're okay. I don't have no red flags. It sounds like James doesn't either. But they say that kids is the reason that they haven't been able to meet in person. I guess he has kids who are smaller, and that makes it harder for him to travel. So I kind of got that, but then I'm like, are you a single dad? Is there no help? Because usually the mamas be with the kids the most, then that would be the person who would have trouble. But I guess it's him. So I'm curious to learn more about that little situation.
Yeah.
Because that was
Yeah, I
odd.
am too. I am
That
as
was
well.
different.
But they don't give me any other red flags other than that.
Other than that, they seemed fine. I hope that that's really the truth, because people can say one thing and then you find out it's another thing. So hopefully that's the truth. But in between meeting the couples, the 3 couples that we've met already, they are even surprised by the fact that Shay and Josh have been together 12 years and have not met. Even the other people here at the same situation, it's like, now wait a minute. What she said to her, she said, damn, I've been waiting 10 months. I thought that was long.
There is a time limit, like because I do this, y'all. There is a time limit if you decide to meet somebody outside of your area, which I do look at. I do look at people outside my area because I don't feel like I'm gonna find love in Phoenix. But I would say that the time limit I'm giving for someone to either me come there or us meet in the middle is 4 months. If it's like, I will give 90 days for us to talk and get to know each other, and then in the 4th month, let's make a plan for us to meet. I think that that's a sizable enough time. It gives you enough time to save some money up to, date and, go to another city or meet in a middle ground city, which I'm going to do next time. I'm going to meet in the middle ground city because I felt like I always went to my ex in Florida. I always went to Florida. He never came to Phoenix. So I felt like that's something I'm definitely going to do differently this time come around. If I do decide to date outside of my city, which I have had some prospects, but nothing too sturdy yet. Y'all know I'm picky as hell. So yeah, we'll see.
Because he really is picky.
Shayna said 3 months. Okay. You know what, Shayna? Now that you said it, yeah, I'm gonna jump on the 3-month rule, Shayna.
I think that's fair. I think 90 days. Do you know in psychology when they're teaching us about like literally doing marriage and family therapy for like couples counseling, they say 3 months is a good time frame when people are trying to like come together. So that's the perfect. Anybody who has 90 days, that's the perfect rule. Don't be like Joan from Girlfriends though, to where you let that rule
But
get in
see,
the way.
I've had both experiences. So I've dated twice outside of my same city. The first time it was 11 days that because he jumped from the plane and came and saw me. The second time was 2 months. So yeah. 3 months is right. But then he shocked the heck out of me when he said, "Oh, I'll be there. Let me get through work and I'll be there." And sure enough, he showed it come. Like he was like, I was like, dang, I wasn't even expecting you to even show up. But yeah, he showed up and then he kept coming every 11 days. So it was like,
that's
oh,
fair.
you really serious? I can get to go to Chicago once. He was down here like 12 times. And then we
I
just
wouldn't
didn't
go to Chicago neither. It's either too hot or too damn cold. Sorry, family. But
no, but he was really sweet. He just, he wasn't fully off women yet, and I tend to get guys like that. So, he wasn't fully off women yet. It's a hard when you're in that transitional. It is hard unless you already like no. But if you're like me, who just chose to do it because
you guys, Love During Lockup is back. It's something I recap. We got our first gay couple on Love After Lockup. I was like, it's interesting. But the guy was explaining the man on there didn't come out until he was 30. And said that dating men is different. He's like, it's a whole different scene. I keep seeing that. It's following me now. I don't know why. But.
Well, because it always was here, but because people like the society, like, oh, you knew when you were a kid, when you were 5, that has to be your story. And it wasn't until Niecy Nash got married where she said, no, I just chose this one day because it just felt right. That was my story. It just felt like, okay, maybe it's a lot easier for me to do it versus that.
There's that makes it easier too when you're leaning into what feels right versus looking at all these other
right.
things.
But the fact that you had to know when you were a kid, people always said it, but I never felt it.
No,
I never felt
true.
it.
That's not true, and science proves that, but no one wants to hear it. But moving on. Y'all, we are, if you are just joining, going over OWN's newest reality show, The Never Ever Met, a show about a bunch of couples who have been talking to each other virtually but never ever met. Listen to the name. We are now going to go over Sandia and Chris. Sandia is 27. She's from Miami. Chris is 34. He is also from Miami. She is Haitian. I believe he is something as well. I don't No, what? Didn't catch
He
it?
was giving me, like, if I had to say what he was giving me Dominican. He was either giving me Dominican or Jamaican. It was like one of the two.
All I know is I love their skin together. I love it.
They,
I
you
love
know, honestly, they were the most attractive couple. I will say that they were like both of their features. They were both highly attractive people. So I enjoyed looking at them, but
Mhm.
it was some about them. They were a little off to me.
Something about him seemed off. And she, to me, she seems sweet. She says she's traditional. She's Haitian. She loves and believes in love and marriage, having a family. And it's, I guess to some extent, some could call it conservative, but something about her also. Them quiet ones. I'm trying to
It
tell y'all.
seems like to me, and this is my theory on this. It seems like they're trying to merge two different traditions together and
Probably.
being with each other. That's what it gives me. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what it gives me.
Well, he said he loves strip clubs. That's the first thing we find out with learning about these people. He said it and she said it. But she believes in family love. So we'll see what happens with Sandia and Chris. The next couple we met is the one that stressed me out the most. This Alexis, who is 30. She's from Brooklyn, New York. And Dominique, who is 31. He is also, I'm assuming, from New York because he is the one
He's from
person that did not.
Chicago.
Okay, because I was like, I was looking for where he's from and it did not.
He's from Chicago. Yeah, he's
Okay.
from Chicago.
Okay, so they're not too, they're like a flight, not a long flight either.
They're no. Wait till you get to the couple who you don't have here. I'm finna go to hell in on them. So wait till the couple that you don't have on this panel here. Wait till you get to their asses. I'm
They
going
might
in.
be here. Again, this is a shared screen. Let's see. There they are.
Them two, y'all, stick around. Cause I am going in on those two. Cause that didn't make no fucking sense.
It's so I'm surprised. But moving on, Alexis and Dominique, one's in New York, one's in Chicago. They've been talking for 6 months. Here's the thing. I don't have high hopes for them at all. Just seeing them individually and the way that they are, I don't feel as though they would work together. And we will come back to why, because we'll go over all of that. But I just don't have much faith in them.
Yes, the guy is Dominique Naya. I second that. I don't have hope for them either, just because, okay, this is gonna sound crazy, but just roll with me here, y'all. Fundamentally, they are looking for each other. Fundamentally, they are looking for each other. She is looking for the toxic dude, and he is looking for another baby mama. So, ironically, they are looking for each other. They are just not on the same page when it comes to idealism. That's just what it is.
I guess to the same extent, I feel the same, except without using all them damn words. They both shallow.
I agree with that. Absolutely.
James tried to he is a writer, so he gave the soft blow. I really don't give a damn. I'm not interested in interviewing nobody. I don't care. They both shallow, and I mean, he's attracted to her for her assets, and she wants men to be attracted to her for her assets. And so, in that sense, like he said, they work. But as we'll see by the end of this episode, you can't just build love off of materialism. Like that of course, it's important, but it can't be all that you're basing your connection on. That's my opinion. Moving on. Diamond with a Y. I don't know why they did that. She's 44 years old. She is from Sanford, Florida. She is dating Aaron H. They are the couple in the top right corner. OG with the hat, showing his age, 51. Men at that age, they love their hats. They love their hats. Okay. They love their hats. But she says when we first meet them that he's done some shady stuff in the past, but they've been talking for 5 years. I think I speak for me and James when I say red flag number 2 behind Shay and Josh. Why 5 years and you haven't met? Very, very strange. That's very, very strange. I understand that she's in Florida and he's in Los Angeles. That is really far. That's why I never made it to Florida to get to James. But
and then I didn't stay there long enough for her to get there in the first place.
He didn't, because I started to plan a trip and I was this close to buying the ticket and you called me. I was like, well, thank you for letting me know. Lord. But it's expensive to travel from California anywhere really, because we're a state people are always coming and going from.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Let me come. I get where you coming from, friend. If they were in the 6-month tile like Alexis and Dominique, or the 3-month tile like Sandy and Chris, absolutely, I 100% agree with you there. But this is 5 years. You mean to tell me, and out of any of them 5 years, neither one of y'all thought to get on a plane and go and see each other?
Here's my other point that I was going to make. Greyhound, Megabus,
or gas up the Honda Civic.
Amtrak.
It don't matter.
Right. Enterprise, Turo, get around. I mean, if you want to see somebody, I feel like you will make it work. My husband done rode a bicycle from Berkeley all the way to Hayward before to see me. So I'm like, if he could do it on a bicycle as a young boy, and that's some cities away.
That's dedication right there. That is how you know that man loved you. Because let me tell y'all something. By car, that's a 35-minute drive. That is a 35-minute drive by car.
He did it on the bike. It took him like 2 hours. I was like, and then he took me out to eat. I was like, what? My Nana was like, that boy love you, and make sure that he was a condom. I was like, Nana.
So dude, that's the one. That's the one right there. Anybody that is willing to do whatever it took to get to me, no matter if it was by bike or by foot. Yes. You the one. Now, now we have to elevate now. I'm just playing. I'm just kidding.
Listen. He probably wouldn't do that now. Now Mr. Best is old now. It's probably a knee or an ankle or something. But he gonna drive.
You're like, something swollen.
Something swollen, okay? Anywho, we got sidetracked, but the point of that is, if a kid at 18 can figure out how to get to a female that they like, then why can't a 51-year-old man or a 43-year-old woman? They are both at the age where you should be established enough to where you can hop on the Greyhound for, a $40 ticket across country. But it is what it is. We will find out. I do think it's interesting. She immediately was like, he did something shady. You could tell she's like, I know it's going to come out. Let me just give them what I got to give now. But we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, then that's why I'm saying some make me feel like they've met before too. I feel like Josh and Shay have met before, and I feel like Diamond and Aaron have met before as well. I don't believe.
Why I feel that way too. When we get further and we see them meet, you can tell, because mind you guys, I met my husband online. Also, talked to him for like 6 months. I was avoiding meeting him until he got tired of it. But I to some extent I can relate to this, but 12 years.
Yeah, their interaction when they first met was interesting. If they have never met before,
it was.
That's not a never meets kind of situation.
No,
that is. I went a long time without seeing you.
Right.
Because and we back. Exactly. That is exactly what they're giving. I'm sorry. There's no way I felt like those two have never seen each other before.
Y'all, but this is just the beginning of the show. I feel like they're doing a good job introducing everybody thus far. I like how they introduced each couple. But before we get to the last couple, Diamond is complaining about the sleeping arrangements because the way they have it is the women will share a room with a bunch of little twin beds. These are all 30 plus adults. We don't need a twin bed. We need at least a full. James is like that. You better get that right. We need at least a full.
Y'all, okay? let me explain something. If she wasn't gonna say it, I was gonna say it. First of all, we too grown for this shit in that big ass fucking house. No, I'm sorry. That is not acceptable.
That's how you know they saved it on budget.
That house had at least 12 bedrooms on its own. You're not finna tell me that all the girls had to share one room and then the men had separate quarters. No, that's not how this works.
If anything, you want the women to have separate quarters because men will congregate and bro it out. Women, like Diamond said, she said, girls are catty. I don't do females. And I'm going to tell y'all this. Most females I know that say that is the problem.
I agree.
I'm sorry. It's the truth. I don't like being around people. I stay in the house most of the time too. But if I have to be around females, I have no issue with it. And I sometimes do sense the sisterhood. I'm that corny chick. But
Yeah, because you should automatically go into a space, being that it's all black women, and feel like you are seeing your sisters or you seeing your cousins. Like it should automatically be some underlying love there, just off of automatically because you're all experiencing the exact same thing. None of y'all, from what we know, have never met the person that you've been online dating. So there should already be some underlying bond that you have already just based on that alone. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I'm gonna leave it there because he pretty much spoke it. Thank you. That's how you know he was raised by a strong black woman. Shout out to James's mama. I need to come meet you.
Yeah,
Um
yeah, you'll hear it in a second.
yeah, I love it though. I love it. I'm pretty sure your family's not louder than my family. Pretty sure.
You wanna bet?
We could. That'd be a damn shame though. How would
Yeah,
we
it would be.
fulfill that bet?
We get a noise measure. You know how they measure octaves? We'll get that and we'll see whose octaves is higher. And I guarantee you my family will win. Off the
No.
strength of just my mama alone. Yes.
Listen, I got one in mind, just the one. Maybe that's just the black people thing. I don't know. Shout out to black people. I love y'all. Y'all beautiful. And I love your chocolate and your caramel and all the different things in between. Moving it along. We then find out that, they are going to share a living space. Like we said, that was dumb, the situation and how they put the living space. But what happens next is they're going to meet their partners. And the way that they're going to meet their partners, I'm forgetting a couple because I didn't see them. Going backwards, Millie and Greg. These guys right on here, they have been dating for 3 years. Red flag number 3. Greg looks like he thinks that he is Lenny Kravitz or something, like the knockoff Lenny Kravitz who never made it. And Millie, I don't know. Something about Millie is off to me. I don't quite know what it is. James is raising his hand like he has to. Go ahead.
Because you missed the red flag. The red flag is that these two motherfuckers have been together for 3 years and they live in the same fucking city.
And haven't met. Yeah.
And have not met. Where they do that at?
There's something else to both of them that just seems like individually. There's something that seems
it gives they got other people. It gives they got other people and they have not met because they're in other relationships. He gives me he has another girlfriend. She gives me I don't want to say this because I don't want because she was really sweet. She was a sweet girl. She really was, but she gives me she may have, somebody else.
Naya, Naya ain't shit. Trust instincts.
But my thing is, but the red flag is if we're okay, but for shits and giggles, let's put all that to the side of what we feel that they may have on their sides. They live in the same city. If I am dating somebody for 3 years online and we live in the same city and we have not crossed paths or met, and mind you, these are two black people. You mean to tell me that there was no event in LA that y'all were at that y'all did not bump into each other? There was nothing in LA that would have crossed paths between the two of you. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. That is the red flag. I cannot live in the same city.
We are both from California. There are couples here in the same city, but LA is real big, but it's not that big. And the same thing with the Bay, and the same thing with the Valley. Like eventually, if you really live here, you're going to run into people. You start recognizing random people in Starbucks. I mean, it's just something that happens. So I believe I kind of agree with you. It's very strange that you guys are in the same city, and that LA is very segregated as well. So, and the Bay Area is like that as well. Black people don't live in specific areas. And it's not always the hood. It's not always the hood.
No, yeah, exactly.
But Black people have their own communities. That there's a Hebrew community out there. Then there's also the Asian communities, and they pretty much stay where they stay unless they.
She live in La Brea near Miracle Mile, and he live in Canoga Park. So I'm sorry, no. They're within.
Then why is that so accurate?
No, because I've lived in LA. I know LA. You can't tell me nothing about LA. I know LA from the back of my head. He looked like he lived right there, right where Warner Brothers Studio is, just right in them apartments. That's exactly where he looked like he lived at. So I'm not even finna go there. That's why I said there's something wrong with these two. I have my eye on them. Me and my mama trying to match our tone. Sorry, y'all, if y'all hear in the background. But Lord Jesus, something is not right with them too. And I'm gonna get it. I'm telling y'all, mark my words. I said it episode 1. they are lying and they have other people.
Yeah, because
There's
it's
no
very
way.
strange to me why you live in the same, and that's the thing for the couples who say they live in the same city but have not met. Those are the ones I feel like production. If you're gonna do a show like this, you need to dig deep before just putting them on the camera.
Right? I need to see. He said he did have children, right? Yeah, he did. He had children. So, are you still with the mother of those children? Is
We gonna
that what
find out.
yeah, it's something gonna come out. I'm telling you, something is not right because there's no way 3 years. I wish somebody would tell me we live in the same city. No, I can't meet you in 3 years later. First of all, after 3 months, I ain't finna be a fool with you.
I'm dying. So moving on, this is when they meet the couples next. They're gonna meet each other. So these people have not met each other, even though they've been dating for some time. And now we're getting to the point where they are. And the way that the show has the couples about to meet is they are going to have the men plan dates for the women. And I guess this is supposed to be an icebreaker or something of that nature, which I feel like is working out. Brandon plans a cooking class for himself and Sienna. And when they meet, it goes well. Like most of the red flags that I had felt prior to seeing them meet, kind of like they eased a little bit, subsided because there is a good energy. They seem to both like each other. And their personalities, I can see why they would get along. I just need to know more about the situation. But 10 months, I'm not really beating them up either about that. So
Based on how far apart they are in the US, I'm not going to beat them up either. And he has kids as well. I'm not going to, so I can almost see it, but they did look like they did have a connection. You could tell that when it was whatever online dating service they used to meet with each other, you could tell that they definitely picked each other based on qualities and not quantities, unlike myself. So, because
shut up, James.
no, because I'm telling you, I have to stop that, but I can't, because then I won't date men if I don't date what I'm attracted to. So it's a catch 22. Like I literally have. That's why I go to other cities because it literally what I'm attracted to. If it's not there, I'm not going to be with you because that's how it works here with me. It's
I mean,
the
you got to
weirdest
be
thing.
attracted to a person in order to be with them, essentially. So I don't see anything wrong with that. Why waste someone's time if there's no attraction, right?
Exactly. When we moved to Alexis and Dominique, he proved my point.
Yep. Specifically. And that's actually who we're moving to next because nothing really happened with Brandon and Sienna. There wasn't red flags. They met, it went well. We didn't see Dominique and Alexis. Now, he's from Chicago. She's from New York. Both cities that are known for people with like personalities that can be like boisterous and maybe a little bit loud, aggressive, but in the best way. I love y'all. But she says when she sees him immediately, and this is what I mean by these people are shallow. He fine. He real fine. And he was all right. No shade in Chicago.
Define all right.
Let me explain something to y'all. Like my husband's family's from Chicago. His mom, the family he talked to and stuff. And it seemed like in Chicago, there's like two types of men, like the little light brights that kind of look like this Dominique boy, and then the fine chocolate ones. And it don't seem to be much in between. For what I've seen. Sorry, family. So please stop asking me if I have friends in the Bay. They don't want you. But just I had to get that out there, y'all. The in-laws be driving me crazy with that. We want a girl from the Bay. Y'all lit.
Y'all not gonna be able to handle that, is what we say. Y'all are not going to be able to handle that. Let me tell y'all something. It takes like a real Bay Area native. It takes a whole lot of man. And I mean, you got to literally be an octopus. You got to have 8 legs and tentacles. Because when I tell you, these women keep you on your toes. You have to be able to cook dinner.
I don't need this the best comment to the grin. All right. he did that on one of my lives the other day. I was like, I see. Hello to James's subscribers. Welcome to the channel. James will be with us on Saturdays going over this show. I just want to acknowledge y'all. I see we have 2 people on James's channel. Hi, Twitch. Hi, y'all. I have some people live on Twitch as well.
But like I said, yeah, Bay Area woman, you take a lot. You got to be able, especially if you have kids, you got to be able to throw one baby in the air, put pants on another kid, catch that baby, put their diaper on, and then you gotta be able to carry 6 of them, like put one here, 2 up here. You got to be able to do all of that. Because you know what she doing? She running around getting everything else. It works if you somebody who can keep up. If you're not
And
somebody
the
who can
rent is
keep
so
up,
expensive here, though, y'all. It's how it has to be. Like you can never stop moving. You have to have a hustle.
you have to keep going. Yeah, you have to
You
have
have
to have 3 or 4 hustles.
I'm
It's
trying to tell you, I got YouTube song reviews. I also got some stuff I'm doing with my husband, working as a
if I ever were to come back
as a
home,
coordinator. I'm doing a lot.
yeah, if I ever were to come back home, which that's a very if, because I don't see a reason why I would.
Me,
But
I'm the reason for your season.
I can just come get you and JoJo, put you in the car, and bring your asses somewhere else, wherever I end up.
Those will come is the problem.
Absolutely. If I wanted them to come with me, if I buy a big enough house and I said, okay, you two that took off for both of us, we need to make something else now together.
James, who do I know that I could trust that pay bills with no kids?
Right.
And it's just us.
It is just us. It is just us. It was funny. It was funny. In LA, I actually had found a 4-bedroom home with a guest house. And I said, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. They was asking too much for it. Of course they were. But you never know. I may strike it rich one day and I'll be like, okay, I bought the house. Bring your ass home.
They said,
You
I'm
need
a
me to come
get
get
rich.
you? Oh, yeah.
One of us, we really do have a plan. One of us, because I don't want to stay in California, y'all. So one of us will eventually move, and then the other,
and the other's gonna follow. It's probably more than likely gonna be
an
me because
old
I'm ready.
Honda with a deep trunk will fit. We'll be fine.
Yeah, because I'm telling y'all, I'm ready to leave Phoenix already. I'm ready to go.
Damn, you just got back.
I just got back and I'm ready to go again.
I don't blame you. Summer is coming.
Yes, exactly.
Anywho, you guys, getting back into it. Dominique and Alexis meet. Off the top, she says that he's fine, but he says in his confessional, and he's going to regret that if they work, which I know they won't, that she does not look like she did in her pictures, and he means it in a negative way. And then they showed some of her pictures. There were filters. Yes. Noticeable skin lightening filters. There were also times that she put makeup on that it was probably lighter than her complexion. Listen, as a chocolate woman, it is hard to find the perfect shade. There are some sites, but if you want the right shade, you're gonna have to spend some money. I end up doing that.
Well, see, I just recently I took my grandmother and she had to buy 2 different kinds and mix them together.
Yeah, I've had to do that before. You either have to do that or just spend the money on an expensive or better brand. But I don't think her pictures did look like her.
It was just different hair. That's really like when I looked at her body, I was like, no, that's about right.
I think what was turning him off was
she ain't got no hair.
The eyelashes. I don't know why you girls insist on putting bat wings on your eyes to where people can't see your facial structure. They can't see your eyeballs. I think the lashes made it hard for her to see. And this very stiff wig.
Yeah, it was the hair
on her head. She's a beautiful girl. It's just
that ain't no wig. No, it's a very bad pressing curl. Like I don't know if she just didn't get it redone before she left, or if this was like a week.
It looks like a weave that's stiffer.
No, I looked at because we have the HD TV in there, and I had paused it and I looked.
It's not her hair because the side of it, I got 4K2 up here, player. I seen some of her track lifting, so I know it's her hair, but she has. I think she did the old school glue in.
Did she? Okay, that's probably that's like because it looked like she had it pressed, but you know how
it is pressed. It's definitely pressed,
but it's like a week old press. It's not like a new press. Is what I'm saying.
It's not a week old press. Not there. You don't say. He said a week old press.
Oh my God.
No. Listen.
Y'all know y'all girls go a week good without getting your hair pressed. Go stop playing. Y'all just run a curling iron through it and and then sweat it out a little bit. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I can't do that. My mother's side is African. I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. My hair laughs at perms. It laughs at presses. It laughs at hot combs. My dad's side is Creole. I don't be knowing what to do.
Thank you, Naya.
I can't. I cannot. She said it's a faded week.
It is. That's what we
Faded.
talking about. It's a faded week old press with some clip ins. I'm telling you, I'm not finna sit up here.
Okay, I'm gonna bust James out real fast, y'all, because we supposed to be here just having fun. So we looked at the cast. Why did he describe the cast as real Section 8 looking? I said, James.
I hate you. I didn't know you. I didn't think you was gonna bring that up.
Hell yeah. Because if we're gonna talk about, and I quote, a faded week old press quoted by our favorite thug here, and I agree. I mean, it was bad. It was
It
really
is bad.
Here,
Between
black
her,
women, it's okay to be
her,
naturally wild.
Shay, Joanna, and what's old girl's name at the bottom? The seventh couple,
Millie.
Between those four, them wigs and weaves and faded old presses was terrible. The only ladies whose hair was like given was definitely Diamond. Her hair was given. I loved the dreads on Sienna, and Sandia did it safe and did braids. So yes, but Shay don't. The problem with Shay's wig is that it ages her, because I don't believe she's 30 looking at that. And Joanna's her weave or wig, I think that's weave, is too thick. She needed, yes. And then, as I said, we already said Alexis. And then scroll down. Don't scroll down. Scroll down. That is a travesty. I don't want to see that again. Millie, I don't want to see that again. That is horrible. And what's crazy is they're all beautiful women. Every single last one of them are extremely beautiful. But I'm telling y'all, hair will make and break you if it's not right. It just will.
I'm gonna say this: it's okay to get natural hair. That's what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna move it forward. Because I'm dying at James right now. Oh, Dominique and Alexis, we can't seem to get through this date. He seemed disappointed in her looks and stuff, but she looked pretty much the same. They do go to eat, and that's when we learn they're both really jealous. Red flag number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.2. They're both extremely jealous. She makes it clear, like, I don't want you talking to no girls in this house, looking at them or smiling at them how you're smiling at me. I'm like, damn, the nigga can't smile. But then we find out in the confessional, he's also low-key jealous as well. What I got from their first date, especially the yoga-ing, definitely toxic good sex is what I see for them and nothing else.
That's just it. That's exactly what this is. This is nothing more than she's looking for toxicity. He's looking for another woman to impregnate. And we'll learn about the abusiveness later. But the problem is that that's what it is. And that's how these men and women of our time choose people. It is ridiculous to see the amount of people that love toxicity, that can't live without it, that they would go and get a man like this. And it's nothing worse than a man that just wants to impregnate a woman before knowing her well enough to maybe that being your wife one day. Like, why would you want to give her a baby if you can't give her a future?
Listen, that's a question I'm gonna leave for.
That's crazy to me.
We're gonna leave that there. So, because that's a question people need to sit on. Greg plans. Greg, we're moving on. We're moving on to Greg way at the bottom. We can't see him right now, but he plans an active date with birds because he knows that Millie likes birds. It was thoughtful. Things go well. I'm not going to comment too much on their little date. Josh then meets Shay. When I tell you they embrace, first of all, it was as if she's seen him before and it's just so happy to have gotten the chance to see him again. Secondly, listen, I'm going to just niggle my teeth for y'all because some of the teeth on this show let me know that people do not brush and floss, or at the very minimum are not brushing twice a day. And when I see stuff like that, it bothers me. It really does bother me. Like, my teeth aren't perfect either, but like, there's a difference between like, oh, your teeth this way because of age, time, coffee, and then there's the sis, you got to remember when you rolling up, if it's a wood, to rinse it first. And if you hitting it and it's getting to the end of the piece, you know what I'm saying, then you got to start hitting it through your finger cutely so that your lips don't blacken. That's all I'm going to say. But they meet and they take this, they kiss each other in a way that was, I feel like they've known each other before. No one's that comfortable kissing someone that they've never met before.
It wasn't like a cute, like little peck. It was very intense tongue action. Like, I'm not finna do that from somebody I have not physically been around. I'm not finna do all of that. So that gave me, when he said 12 years, when they said 12 years, that gave me they had met before. They just have not seen each other. Because mind you, if we're going by the real ages that they're putting on the screen, which he's 32 and she's 30, that means she would have been 18 years old. So you mean to tell me you wasted your entire fucking 20s?
Wait a minute. That's a good catch. That's a very good catch at the age. That's a very good catch.
That's what I had, y'all. So let me be real with y'all. I watched this 20 minutes before I got on here. I watched it again because I didn't want to miss anything, because I watched it twice. And I said, let me watch it one more time because I'm going to miss something. And sure enough, that was the thing I missed with those two, was the ages. 32 and 30. So that means she was 18 years old when they first started talking. So as I said, and wasting your 20s, I wasted some of my 20s. I did. I'll admit that. I'm angry about that, but there's no way I'm going to be with somebody and there's no contact that entire decade, when that's the decade you're supposed to be having fun.
Yeah, that's true. And that probably explains some of the other stuff. So did Chris and Sandia meet? He gives me foreign fuckboy vibes. If you've been to somewhere like Miami, New York, where people are of multicultures, you understand what I'm saying. But that's just what he gives me. He plans a thoughtful day for Sandia, takes her in a helicopter, which is one of her dreams. And, you know, he seemed to have put forth a really big effort. But this is also the couple that gives me red flags, because they don't want to say that they're like a couple. They want to say that they're trying to figure it out. Now, are they the people who have the right to do that? I think so, because they're only 3 months in. But now that you've met in person, they should also be the quickest to figure out like what they want to do, in my opinion. And we're going to come back to them because there's a lot. Aaron J and Joanna meet next. They are on our screen right in the center, top center. He says that the roadblock with Joanna is that she doesn't let anybody get too close. That's not the first time I heard people say that about girls from Chicago. But that is what he says is difficult. So he plans a date for them to have wine and charcuterie. And this fool didn't know how to use a corkscrew. And what annoyed me about it is, I can understand, because a lot of people, especially of new generation, don't know how to use a corkscrew. Do you know what I mean? That type, like, of wine opener. But just say you don't know. I taught my husband how to use that type of wine opener.
I was gonna say I don't know how to use one either, because mine is electric. So
thank you. They have the easy one where you just squeeze it and it comes up.
Right. So. They did teach me in culinary school. However, how many times am I gonna open up a bottle of wine? So yes, mine, as soon as they came out with an electric one, that was the first thing I bought. I don't drink wine. I do hoard it, but I do not drink it. So mine is for decoration. It literally, when I buy my next house, it's going to be decoration. I will have a wine wall with full bottles of wine that probably will never get touched. But you know, the older the better. Unless I meet somebody wine. That will. I love it too. I love it too. I don't drink it. No, I don't. Here's the thing. So wine is an occasion thing for me. I only drink wine in the month of February.
That's so random, James.
It is. It is. And you know why? I hate Valentine's Day, but I have this thing that if you drink wine on February, maybe you might get love, because it's love month. It's also Black History Month. I would love a nice, solid, nice chocolate man. So
I love it. He has a little routine. Wine is dope. I don't really drink too often at all anymore, but when I do, I prefer wine over whiskey shots that end up with me on top of a bar. So moving it along, the date was cool, but he didn't know how to open the wine with the type of wine opener that she had. And instead of telling her, he was just like, at first it looked like he tried to just twist it off, and she was immediately bothered by that. There was a lack of chemistry between these two. But I don't think the lack of chemistry has to do with that wine opener at all. Something about Aaron is off, and that part of him that I feel is off is something that would turn off, I think, most straight women. But I can't quite put my finger fully on what it is, but I have a strong idea of it. But he put in the effort, but it seemed like he was more concerned with how she received, like, and her reactions to what he was doing versus what he was actually doing. If that makes any sense, it didn't seem like genuine. It seemed like he was more concerned with how the rest of us would feel about what he was doing. So that's my opinion on Aaron J. Do you have any opinions that you'd like to
We
add?
share the same sentiments. He was giving me a vibe that, was obviously noticeable. And I don't really, it was between the earrings and the switching when they were doing within the switching when they were doing the salsa. Them hips was kind of moving a little too strenuous.
It was comfy. It was comfy. For me, it's the eyebrows too. That's a turn off for me when men feel the need to arch or fill in their eyebrows.
You know what's funny? I get accused of that all the time. I don't touch my eyebrows.
It doesn't look like you do.
No. People it's like, oh, you definitely arch. And I'm like, I have never arched my eyebrows a day in my life.
No.
They're just naturally arched.
Look, Shayna said, listen, Shayna knows what I'm trying to say, but I'm trying to be cool on these YouTube streets. I'm new here.
we too far in the video. They ain't finna trip off of us like that. He did give me a vibe. He did, as somebody, he ain't my type, but he did give me a vibe.
He gives a vibe with the shirt.
And
the
somebody asked
really
me, somebody asked me on one of the videos, what is my type? Someone asked me that, and I'm gonna randomly say it. You just reminded me. So I like highly masculine, unassuming. Put it together. Think of what that is. I'm not going to say anymore. Highly masculine, unassuming, which means you would not be able to tell, no matter through mannerism, voice tone, or even head gestures. You will not be able to tell. That's what I like.
I know what he's talking about, but I can't tell y'all because that's a cheat. But I think that you're explaining it in a way that people could understand.
No, because people don't. People are like, "Huh? What does that mean?"
I'm just it's very clear, and if you know,
do your homework.
If you know James, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Oh Lord, y'all, we getting through. Thank you for still being here. Like the video, all that jazz and whatnot. Thug life, you feel me? And happy 420. When this is done, I'm gonna go partake. But I partake every day, but I'm gonna go partake. Aaron,
I don't partake. Happy 420, but I don't partake.
It's my 420 every day. Every day. It keeps me saying, y'all don't judge me. Anywho, Aaron and Diamond meet. This is where we learn a whole bunch of crap. We learn, Naya, happy 420. Okay, so Aaron and Diamond are weird. They're our oldest couple. They are also our second couple that has known each other the longest. Naya, she said, "I'll partake for us both." That's why Naya be on YouTube. I'm telling you, she partakes and then just be chuckling. That's the best time to be watching YouTube. Plus, it was Shayna. She interviewed some fine chocolate man. I was watching it. I was like, I like that. She had her little icebreakers, favorite color. She did good. So great job to Shayna. But yes, thank you, Naya. So these two are together for 5 years, but she already let us know that he was on some shady stuff. And he lets us know that the shady stuff is, in his words, he lost hope of ever seeing her. So he kept talking to her while talking to somebody else, because that's essentially what he said. The somebody else that he was talking to, he ended up proposing to. Also, he says that he only dates BBW, big, beautiful women. I thought it was big booty women. I had no idea it stood for big, beautiful women. But hey.
He made that shit up because that's what we all thought. Big booty women, yes. Like.
Oh, no. But he says he usually only dates BBWs. I wouldn't have thought anything of this lady's weight or her shape, her body tone. I really would not have looked at her any differently. If
me either, because her outfit was cute. So that's why I was like, that's why I was like, okay, that's what I said. She honestly, Diamond is doing it, y'all. She looked great. Her hair was great. She looked refreshed. It was just the attitude. If her attitude just wasn't so snarky, she would have been my favorite on here. But see,
Yeah.
that attitude is just snarky, and I feel like, and this is, and to kind of touch base on what you were talking about him as a whole, I really feel like with him, he was just trying to make it seem like he was appealing to, the bigger women, because a lot of the times that was a big thing where, they kind of get overlooked and stuff. So I think he was just trying to make himself look popular and stuff. But to me, you kind of did a disservice, because you should have said, I love a full figured woman.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
You could have just said you love her body and left it there, but he want to call her all these things. Anywho, they go to dinner after their little date, and basically they try to make things work. They meet. Another couple I feel like has met in person, the hug. It's like there was no surprises. Obviously, these people have seen each other before, but she says she needs closure in order to move forward with him. And what she means by that is she wants to know why he was proposing to another woman, because the timeline of it was shady. It was right after they went exclusive. He proposed to this other woman, and it was on Facebook. So he's gone exclusive with you privately while going publicly exclusive with somebody publicly. I don't think that's something that's forgivable. Personally, like, I'll even tell some people, like, oh, he cheated. That doesn't mean you have to leave him or this and that. But I really am that person that tries to give people the benefit of the doubt, no matter the situation. But this right here, no, player. Check me out. You not about to claim that we exclusive, but then you on the internet proposing to another woman, and you're showing this on the internet, meaning that you have a relationship with this woman also off of the internet. So now you've made a fool of me publicly and privately. I don't feel like stuff like this is forgivable. I don't feel like you can work past it, because I would give Aaron H a pass had he done what he did and like broken up with her, or if they weren't talking or something, but they were talking at this time. So just because you're frustrated you can't see your partner, don't mean that you just go and do what the hell you want. My husband's about to do a training for a job that requires him to be away for 7 weeks. Now his ass is begging me to come with him. But if I didn't go, like, I'm not going to just act a fool because I'm tired of not seeing him or something. Like, that's not how it works. He does take accountability, and kind of he admits to what he did.
I was just going to say, where was the accountability?
He admits to what he did, but he's still using the not seeing each other as an excuse. And I personally do not feel like at their big age that that's an excuse. So
it was a cop out for sure.
Yes. A big ass cop out. Because what the hell?
Yeah, let's make the rubber meet the road here for a second. Y'all have been talking for 5 years, have not seen each other, allegedly, to us. And he proposes to another young lady publicly in your face. The only communication you have with him is by telephone through your phone. And you mean to tell me that wasn't a clear sign that this is fuck shit and you don't need to be with? What do you need closure for?
It doesn't make sense. You're not going to get closure with certain things. And I don't think people realize that. Like, when you get cheated on, when you get betrayed, all you can do is learn to live with it. If you choose to stay, you're not going to get closure on that. You're never going to feel or get the answer.
Right, because not only did he cheat, but he proposed to another lady.
Yes.
That's deeper. That's deeper than somebody just having an escapade one night and then coming back to you. No, that's completely different. This is a whole journey, meaning you was meant to give somebody a future. Meanwhile, we have been on this ride ourselves for 5 years. And that's why I said women and men too. If it's not within 3 months, like me and was it Naya or was it Shayna? I think it was Shayna. But me and Shayna said 3 months. That's all we giving y'all is 3 months. If it ain't in that 3 months, we ain't finna deal with you. Because that means we're not worthy of you. That's what you're telling me. If you ain't coming to see me, or you ain't making no arrangements for me to come see you, I'd rather you come see. Now that I did that, where I went to go see somebody else, he'd have fucked it up for y'all, because now you have to come see me now. So unless I'm relocating, then that's a different story. But no, yeah, but I'm just saying that's crazy.
It's a mess. It doesn't make sense. I think separate from all of that, I wouldn't come on a show. I feel like she's just on this show to like, I need you to show me off publicly so we can really work. I feel like that's more so what's going on in the background with them. I don't fully buy it. What I will say, Diamond, if I was you, I'd be looking up and down the coast of California to find out things about this man. That's all I'm gonna say. Because somebody who takes that long to meet you and then propose to somebody else, you need to look into that. You need to look into that. Because honest people don't end up in situations like that. And that's not specific to being a man or a woman. Honest people don't end up in situations like that. So, moving on. They're going to be interested to watch. Back at the house, the dates are coming back to the house. And Alexis is asking Aaron J to rap because we finding out that he raps. Dominique didn't like that she was talking to people. We know that this is a jealous couple, but this is the beginning of basically the end. We then see, once all the other couples come back, Chris is introduced by Sandia. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, maybe he'll prove me wrong. Everything went well with the date. He's being kind, referred to her as beautiful. But then he has vomit of the mouth. And he gets around the boys and he becomes like, oh, I'm a bro. And it just looked like he was trying to fit in a way that was stupid. You're on a show with a bunch of people who claim to be in relationships or who want to end up in relationships. So coming into it, trying to look like the player from the Himalayas, Chris, is probably not what you're doing. You're not on Flavor of Love. There is no Bucky here. You are on Oprah Winfrey Network doing a new show, and you claim to want this woman. He says that he goes ghost on women. He says that he don't call them back. He just treats them like whatever. He said he's single. He not in a relationship. And when he sees Sandia, he tells her like to go away and to mind her business, basically. So the way he changed up in front of those men, run, Sandia. Run.
I want all women to look at that as a point of contention. If your man is so worried about the other opinions of other men, that's not the man for you.
Yeah.
Because that influence that he had to appear a certain kind of way so that other men could like him, why are you so worried about that, sir? Why are you so worried about those other men liking you and you want to be a bro and all this and you telling them these are little sedity, little, condescending little remarks talking about, oh, well, I ghost women, I don't call them back, I'm the player, I'm whatever you was trying to sell to them. I would have been pissed if it was me. I would have left. I'd have said, okay, well, this is a waste of time.
She sat there so quiet. That's what threw me. And I'm like, Sandia, you need to speak up. Let a nigga speak like that around me. You're not about to play with me. I start pulling out my phone. Didn't you text me this? You was lonely. You missed me. I don't feel ghosted. You ghosted these hoes, but you not ghosted me. Like, why don't you keep it real? I hope that she dumps his ass. Shayna says he definitely cares more about men's opinion than his spouse, which means that he's not ready to be a freaking spouse. Like, a real man gonna stand up for you and make sure you're respected no matter who he's around. She also says it backfired. He listens to Fresh and Fit and Kevin Samuels.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then no wonder. No wonder. Y'all, man, I'm telling y'all.
Kevin Samuels finds the worst of women and then makes a public opinion, or made, because he gone now, he in the ground, but made public opinions based on low tier women based on the rest of us. But he does give that vibe, like that he would sit and watch that. Then the Miami.
And ladies, I want y'all to understand something here. Men who feel like that mean you know well and mean you know good. And you need to separate, because a lot of you women pick men like him. A lot of you do. And it's very weird. And I don't know if it's a self-hatred thing. I don't know if anything like that. But someone that will sit there and down women, especially black women, to that degree, or tell other men just to try to make themselves look good in front of them, they mean you know good, and you need to know how to walk away, because it shouldn't matter what the fuck another man should think about you. You should walk, but we're conditioned to do that. I tell you all the time, black men are conditioned that way. We have no way out of it until you know who you really are, and sometimes has to face your own demons. But we don't want to do that, because we find out it's cooler if we look cool in front of them. It's a lie.
I know my husband ain't ever done that shit, And if he's watching, then you better not ever try that shit. I don't know what was going through Chris's mind, but I also get the feeling that that's why he went after and pursued a girl like Sandia, who is more traditional to her culture, more about, respecting and not speaking out of place in front of a man. I feel like her response is partially why he chose someone like her. I don't like that, but at the same time, she's an adult and she has to choose better for herself. But like James just said about Bay Area woman, no, that nigga could never come over here.
No, and no.
Come over here
And see, it was
throw
funny
your
because
ass
on
in the
Instagram,
temple.
there was a man, I don't even follow him, but there was a man, he was talking about he's tired of women always doing this, women always doing it. And when you actually listen to what the women were doing, it was nothing. So I had posted a comment because at the end of his little powwow, little presentation he was giving to all of Instagram, he had said, "I don't think I'm ever gonna find the woman of my dreams because y'all play too much." And I said, and then I commented, I said, "Try men."
James.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna start saying that to men. When men down women to that, because every woman is not bad. I've been around way too many good ones for me to think that the opinion of men saying all women are like this. No, the problem is you men don't show up in a way where women feel that they are protected and that they are
This is
trusted in
true.
your
This
honor,
is
and
true.
that is why they act this way. If y'all did not do it to them, they would not do it to y'all. So when men start doing that, I'm gonna start saying, well, you know what? If women aren't working, try men. Maybe that's better. I did it. That's how I know. I don't have that opinion of women. No. I may have had a slight opinion about that, but until I started dating y'all motherfuckers, that's when I started saying, "Oh, women have a point." Never mind. I changed my whole mind about what I said. If I ever
He
felt
said
like
I
that,
had to date a woman to understand, date a man to understand what we go through.
absolutely.
Men's
No.
is
They do the exact same
difficult.
shit. They do the exact same shit that y'all women complain. They do the exact same shit. That's why I said, I know. Trust me, I'm on y'all side. I get it. I date them. It's hard. It's hard for me to get a correct one. It is. So don't feel bad, ladies. But men like him, men like Chris are dangerous.
Yeah.
And I hope Sandia is really paying it. She looked like she was taking notes and putting mental things in her head, or it could backfire and she could be turned on even more over it. So I don't know. I don't know her yet. But
Listen,
she look I'm gonna give her the
Sandia, I
benefit of the
want
doubt.
you to get away from this man. I really want you to get away from this man. I really, of these couples, and I'll go over that once we get through this last scene, but there's not too many I liked. We'll go over that later, though. Last scene of the show, y'all. Thank you for staying thus far, tapping in. James's subscribers, thank you for being here. If you don't subscribe to my channel, James loves me, so you should too. Shit. That's
Absolutely.
it. No, if you want to subscribe. If not, I'm just enjoying being here with different people, being able to discuss things. So the last thing we see is Alexis, and I've seen her on TV somewhere. Miss Alexis. Somebody comment if you remember where you seen her from. I don't know why it feels like Black Ink Crew or something like that.
You know what I thought I saw her on? Okay. You know who she looks like? And y'all have to go real far. She too young, but y'all have to go real far with this one. Flavor of Love, the third season, had a young lady with a short cut. They used to get into it with the girl who breath stank. Her name was Shy. I cannot think of that lady's name, but she looks exactly like this lady to the T.
She looks like somebody we've seen on TV before. And the way she acted, I don't know. It was she calls Greg because he has on these shorts. Greg think he Lenny Kravitz in his head. And he has on shorts, which a lot of females, we call them hoochie daddy shorts when boys be in these short shorts. And Dominique did not like her referring to him as having them hoochie daddy shorts. And she did keep saying it over and over. And the thing is that some women don't like to hear is I feel like if you want to become a wife, you have to kind of behave like one, but maybe not in a show like this. But if you want to date somebody, you probably don't want to be commenting over and over again on somebody else's shorts that's near their nether region when you know that you're dating someone who's just as jealous of you. Like my spouse personally would not care, but will probably giggle right with me. But Dominique cares and she knows that this man is jealous. So I feel like if you know that your partner is jealous, don't do things to set them off. Like there's certain things I could do or not do that I know would piss my dude off. But I'm not gonna, and if I do them anyway, I'm not gonna like act surprised or try to, people make mistakes, but you got to like pay attention to your partner's triggers and stuff. Another sign that these people do not need to be together. But then at 2:00 in the morning, he's mentioning this again. They've supposedly moved on. Everybody's obviously been up. Everybody's obviously drinking. They was all lit. And they get to talking about her bringing up the hoochie daddy shirts again. And then he compares it basically to him saying a girl got a fat ass, which I was like, you could have just said you didn't like what she said. I don't feel it compares.
Right.
Because if you're looking at somebody with a fat ass, it's like, you know, you looking at that in like
I
a
was
lustful type of
confused.
way versus you got on hoochie daddy short. She's probably like, that's so California, because it is.
I could see. Here's the thing. I could see it was like, oh, your print look nice in them hoochie daddy shirts. I could see if she said that,
She didn't say
then
nothing about
fine.
the
She didn't say nothing about that. So where do you equate somebody? You go tell somebody to have a fat ass versus her saying, "Oh, look at your hoochie daddy shirts. They with yellow never
That's
noticed."
him wanting to see what he could get away with, because you don't even have no reason to be jealous. Like, obviously with Dominique and Alexis, the type of people they like, they with. I can't see her dating nobody like the boy who was in the hoochie daddy shorts.
No,
Where
Dominique is exactly her type.
Greg.
Dominique is exactly who she wants to be with. That is exactly
what. So
yes.
I feel like Dominique knows that, because that's part of what draws them together. These people have spoken nothing but about personalities. Everything they said about each other has been materialistic. Everything. Her body. She like his swag. His haircut. He fine. Like every single little thing. So it's just like, oh my God. But basically, she apologizes for the comment. He doesn't accept the apology. I realize they're both drunk. And this is where what I said earlier, the toxic couple that probably have good sex. She's getting upset with him. They get up. Things start to get physical, y'all. I ain't about to go back and forth between this shit. This is ridiculous. Y'all are how old? What my notes say? How old are they? Let me see. 30 and 31. Y'all are my age. 1992. What are you doing? What's wrong with us? God.
Well, first off, I'm gonna say it like this. He didn't have to push her like that.
He didn't have to push her, but at the same time, I felt like he probably is the type. Here's what I'm gonna say. He's probably the type of dude who, if you provoke him, he will allow himself to be provoked and may put his hands on you. That's how.
Because, but first of all, because I don't know. Because when I looked at the situation, she did though. He grabbed her. Like she didn't touch him. She didn't touch him at all. He had her in this like very aggressive little.
I saw
hold.
that.
And she barely could move her hand. So it was like, no, I'm sorry, no. I get what you're saying, because she was loud as hell. But no, he definitely was the aggressor. He definitely went too far. I feel like when he said, "Stop playing with me, bro," stop playing all of that. I was like, okay, no. See, I would have walked away.
He shouldn't put his hands on her at all. And then my part with her, separate from before they even got to that point, learn how to sit down, be a lady, and handle your liquor. Because I didn't
learn how to walk away. When somebody that ignorant, learn how to walk away.
Separate from him. Like, it was noticeable that she's in there drinking way too damn much. Like, it's okay to chase your liquor, y'all, with water sometimes. Because now it's like one bad moment where she gets too drunk. People will remember her for that. I don't even know if they're going to let them stay in the house, because he did, as James said, put his hands and get aggressive with her first, which he shouldn't have done, especially knowing she's drunk. But at the same time, I'm just like, I don't think that this couple will make it in real life or off camera. So I kind of just want them both gone. Or sit like,
I want them gone too, because that's not what I watched this show for. I don't watch this show for y'all to get ignorant in somebody else's house and start slinging each other across the kitchen counters. Like, I'm not here for that. I'm here to understand, because I also date this way. I'm trying to understand the awkwardness of why it takes somebody 12 years, 5 years, 3 years when you live in the same fucking city to meet somebody. I'm really trying to figure this out and to see how people choose because obviously with some of these couples, I'm going to say more so Dominique and Alexis, definitely Brandon and Sienna, y'all base this all on attraction. Y'all did. I can clearly see that. And so for me, I just feel like Dominique and Alexis are really the kind of toxic ass couple that will end up together after the show, so they can put their hands on each other. They're gonna be fighting. She gonna have one kid here, one
I
kid
would
there,
hate
cussing them
to
out.
see, you know how you be kicking it with your friends or your spouse's friends become your friends. I would hate to see these two like sipping at a kickback or a kid's party. You know, the adults we be in the back with our liquor. Don't judge. But I would hate to see these two like just drinking together. I feel like it will always be volatile. And that's my whole thing. I do understand this man was aggressive and should have put his hands on her, but at the same time, I don't know why I get the energy that she likes that to some
I
extent.
said that. I said
Like,
that from. I said that from when we first looked at them
no,
on this
I
video.
know, but
And
it's just
yeah.
like the fight seeing it. I'm just like, I can't with these people. I can't.
They showed
Listen,
me exactly what I knew when I looked right at them. This is exactly the MO between them two. She's exactly what he wants because she'll give him another baby, I'm sure. Even though she don't want any, but I'm sure she would do it. And she gets him. She like a man that's gonna rough her up. That some women like that, and to me, that speaks to having daddy issues. There's daddy issues there, obviously. If
well,
you
she
think
also
that
said she don't want no more kids. They both got kids, and she said, "Why we need to have one together?" And when she said that, I said, "Oh Lord, okay."
so you need to start, and then ladies pay attention when they start saying they have kids. How many mothers does that entail when you say
Ooh,
you have kids? I need to know that because if it's more than two, then we have a problem here.
mm, yeah.
And I even and y'all, I have to have these conversations. Like I have to have them too. It's not just y'all. I have to have them too. How many mothers are there? Because I need to know what I'm dealing with. Okay, and if they're okay with this, no, they're not okay. Okay, then we can't work because as I told y'all, I'm a team player,
Listen,
so it
all
has
I
to work
know,
that way.
y'all, for a first episode, I thought Own did good. This is an interesting show. It was a little more ratchet compared to like Ready to Love or Put a Ring on It. Those are the Own shows that I like to watch. And I watch Shayna's Ready to Love recaps. But yeah, this was like it's almost like the in between. Like before they can even put a ring on it, and before they ready to love, they got to figure out if they can even freaking be because they ain't met. I'm gonna need to learn more about the backstories of these couples versus just seeing them try to make it work. Specifically, Shay and Josh, Diamond and Aaron H, um, and Brandon. I mean, really, I need backstories in depth for all of them. I feel like we'll get to see more, but right now, Alexis and Dominique, I feel like are going to do this the whole show. There's always that couple they casted. I feel like they were casted with production knowing they wouldn't work, but would bring TV in case the rest of these people didn't. So that's what
And
I'll be waiting.
I hate that they did that because y'all just made them look extremely ignorant and crazy. So I just really feel like y'all shouldn't have did that. But for reality TV ratings, I get it.
Yeah.
As far as that,
I
who
think
is
she
your
was
favorite?
on Black Ink Crew though. She was on one of the Black Ink Crews, I think,
Oh,
because
it's
I
gonna come
remember
out eventually.
we
It's
gonna
gonna
figure it out. We
it's
gonna
gonna come out. No, it's gonna when somebody recognizes. She looked honestly for that kind of show. I don't think it was a reality TV show that's been on like season. Like it gives me she did like a game show or something because we would have recognized her off jump, and she's not polished
She
enough.
looked like one of the groupie girls from Black Ink when they used to have the people come in for the
Oh,
parties.
okay, that's different.
Not
Yes,
a
that's
cast
different.
member, but
That's different. Okay, I
I've
see what you're
seen
talking about. I
her
know the episode you're talking about.
somewhere. I have seen her somewhere. And when I started to remember her was when she started getting drunk trying to fight the man. So I said, oh, I've seen this before. And not just what she's done. Like I think I've seen her before do that. And I think she was also on, there was a show, The Pink Teacup on WeTV. I think she knew somebody on that show. And it was, is that where she's from? I think she's from the Pink Teacup. That show, it used to be a show on WeTV about a black man who owned a soul food restaurant in Brooklyn, right? It was,
Oh my god,
and I think she was one of the girls who worked there.
she did. That is her.
That is her.
That is her.
Yes.
Yes, I
Yeah.
remember that. Yes, that is her. I'm about to
I
go
was
watch that
like,
right after we get
I
offline,
seen
and I'm
her
gonna text you.
somewhere.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna
she
text you.
was
That
on
is
Black
her.
Ink
That
Crew.
is her. If that's not her, then
Okay.
that's her sister. Because
No,
that
that is
no, because
her.
now that you say
Because
the
she got
pink, when you
kids.
said We TV, I was like, wait, because you know who I'm thinking. I'm thinking about them twins. That's why I was like, yes.
No, WeTV's been casting people for other shows. I did Love During Lockup earlier today, and they had a girl from Jocelyn's Cabaret on that
Okay.
Zeus network. they had somebody on there. So I'm starting to see
That's
that
her. I'm about to go watch that because
people
I'm about to go
there.
stream that right now. I'm finna go see if that's her. That has to be her because
It
I
has to
know
be
who you're
her.
talking. I know who you're talking about.
I know you do because I used to text you about that show before
Yes,
we
you
did
did.
recaps. Look, we
Yeah.
figured it out. I was texting him before. But for who we think is going to last, we just going to go through the end of live. These are going to be real fun lives, y'all. We can only do so much with dating shows.
Right. Yes.
Shay and Josh, you think they're going to work or you think they're not going to work?
No.
No. I think that
something tells me he has somebody. And when he said he had a baby that's 3, that made me feel like you have somebody because 3 years old, that's way too specific. And mind you, 12 years. So if we're dealing with each other online for 12 years, does she know about the 3-year-old? Why was this never brought up?
Exactly. And they need to explain it more. But then he could have something where he had discussed his kids, but he in Memphis, the beard, the energy, I feel like he got somebody. Moving it along, and I want her to change this wig immediately.
Yeah, because that aged her terribly. I'm so mad at her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Joanna, aka Jody, and Aaron J. I don't think they're gonna last.
No, this is not going to last.
I don't think she's what he needs or wants deep down, is what I would say. That's all. Diamond and Aaron, I don't think they're gonna last.
Not applicable.
Listen, these California streets know things about Aaron. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Moving it along. Alexa and Dominique, we already know they ain't gonna last. You already know. Oh, she's.
I don't know. I'm gonna go like this with them. I'm iffy about them because I feel like she goofy enough to fall for that because that probably turned her on. She give me one of those girls. I'm sorry, she gives me that. I'm sorry, y'all. I want to protect my Black women, but she gives me that. She likes that kind of energy.
People like that. We have
music. Yeah.
So I can totally understand that. I feel like they'll work in terms of he'll keep hitting it, she'll keep, but I don't think they'll ever it will never matriculate into marriage.
No,
Sienna and Brandon.
Yes.
I think that they can work.
Yes.
I think they can.
Absolutely.
Sandy and Chris, hell no.
I'm not going to say yes.
Ooh,
I'm actually going to say yes.
Ooh.
Actually, I'm going to say yes. And the reason why I'm going to say yes is because I feel like she's one of those people that gives her all.
Yeah.
And he doesn't give enough. So she's going to make up to where he lacks. That's what she gives me. So I'm going to say yes with them.
That's true about her. I don't think they'll make it. I feel like something will happen to where later down the line they'll break up. It could even be after a marriage happens, but he'll F up if he don't grow up. But I'm 50-50 on them. Millie and Greg, I am also 50-50 on because why did y'all not meet 3 years? You live in the exact same city and then you meet and you have a good connection. So it doesn't make sense as to why you didn't meet. So I'm just kind of looking at them like,
I'm going to say no, because I feel like they have other people. At least I'm going to say Greg feel like he has somebody else. That's what it gives me, because he's doing what typical LA dudes do. Yeah. Y'all understand, women, LA is the type of place, real quick. LA is the type of place because if you're in the entertainment industry, you're going to be on your phone all the time. And your partner, whoever you're with, knows that you are probably responding to an email. So they're not going to think, oh, he on this dating site talking to this lady. They're not going to think like that because they know you answer emails because that's where the money comes in. So for me, I feel like they're not going to make it because it's probably going to get revealed that one of them has another person. And I feel like it's him. Because there's no way.
That's California as a whole. If you're in retail or if you work at the gas station, you on your phone. Everything that we do, unfortunately, is on our phone. But we will see. I like the first episode. I'm definitely intrigued. It's definitely something I will enjoy watching. We will be here every Saturday, the day after it airs, to recap this episode. The next recap that we will have on James's channel that we're both doing will be an unpopular opinion video on Monday. And then we will be doing Summer House Martha's Vineyard on my channel as well on Monday.
Yes.
And then we have our Love and Hip Hops and some other things. So
we actually will have several unpopular opinions, because there's one that's going to have to be broke. Unfortunately, because of how big it is, it will have to be broken down into 3 segments. So we're gonna have an unpopular opinion, 3 segments, and then I'm going to be doing an unpopular opinion this might actually take over Monday, and I might spread the other 3 through the week because I want to talk about something that I felt we need to talk about as a society, as far as people loving this man dearly and seeing how he just turned his back on his children.
Ooh, Brian McKnight.
Hmm.
Oh Lord, that's
If
a
you
good.
watched my short, I already alluded to his son coming out and saying something that was highly disgusting. So we're going to talk about that because I feel like, wow, sir, you got some nerve, but you don't care because it's evil, right? Okay.
I think that's good. No one's really talking about that enough, so I think that'd be a good one. So you heard it here from James's mouth first. We'll have unpopular opinions coming to you next week throughout the entire week. We will also have Summer House Martha Vineyard, Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, and Miami. And for those who watch my recaps, the Love During Lockup, and there's something else I can't remember. I have a lot of shows, y'all, that I'm going over, but Thug Life is correct. Thank you so much for tapping in and tuning in. Be sure to like the video, comment your opinion, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. But other than that, we are out. Very good night to all of you. Adios.